this is the ideal moment for us to serve ourselves, to take care of ourselves, to experience the bliss of meditation. Here, today's sponsors of this great Dhamma event, Dhammacharika program, Palitha Rajapaksha and Niluka Rajapaksha. They are giving you the best that they can give to you of things worth sharing. Dhamma is incomparable gift. You may have come to this house on different occasions, and each occasions they treated you with so many different things in different way. Today they wanted to treat you with the invaluable gift, the Dhamma. So let us take this opportunity and benefit from this opportunity so that we can experience this spiritual bliss. Our lives are like vehicles. Palitha Rajapaksha knows about vehicles very well. You know, as we use vehicles, from time to time it indicates, oh, your service is coming soon, right? What happens if we just ignore it and keep driving 4 months, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months and years? Everyone can imagine the results, right? Our life desperately needs services. We of course provide the physical services. Drinking, eating, bathing and taking medication and all that. Walking, exercising, everything is to treat your body when it indicates, yes, it requires that service. How about the mental aspect of our life? Remember that if you take care of your body 20%, you need to take care of your mind 80%. Because our life is just the physical body is like only 20% of our life. We have another 80% we sometimes totally ignore. It's not good for our life. So this is the moment now we are going to take care of this mental, psychological, spiritual aspect of our life. So in that sense, meditation is not an option from which you can choose. Rather, it's a must. Everyone has to do this. Practice it on a daily basis. If you use maybe you can stay without using your body for some temporary period of time. But you cannot stay without using your mind. We use our mind all the time, continuously, 24/7. So therefore, you really need to service your mind, take care of your mind. So, to serve our mind, to purify our mind, we chose the meditation of mindfulness of breath, Anapanasati meditation. Let us devote some time to practice this meditation, just for 5 minutes maybe, but if you do this wholeheartedly, with that determination, commitment, then you can see the results. Doesn't matter the time you practice meditation, still it gives you amazing, wonderful benefits. Relax yourself for a moment. Relax your body. And don't pay much attention to the sounds and the noises going out there. Prepare yourself for the meditation. Prepare your mind even. Imagine as if you are a newborn one. You are just born, as if you didn't have past, as if you do not have a future. You are experiencing the bliss of this present moment. So you are not assigned with any burden here. You are so relaxed. You are so calm. You are like these toddlers. They simply experience the bliss of this moment, and their minds are not burdened with any burdens. Close your eyes gently. Relax your head, relax your shoulders, and experience the very sensation of your posture. You feel that you are existing here. Let your mind, let your body feel your very existence here. As you stay relaxed and calm, bring your attention back to your nose area. This is where you feel the serenity of your breath. As you breathe in and breathe out, you feel it. You don't have to control your breath. Just experience as it happens. As you breathe in, know that you are breathing in. As you breathe out, know that you are breathing out. You simply feel the very sensation of your breath. It is so relaxing, so relaxing. Just forget about the burden of your past. Just forget about the burden of your future. We have this habit all the time, the habit of carrying heavy baggages in our two hands all the time. They are so heavy. Just put them down and just relax. You are right here, right now. You are free from the burden of the past. Past has gone. That remains only in your mind only. Future is yet to come. It's also in your mind only. What you really have is right now. Just the presence. It's a gift to experience. Past is like a dream. Once you experience the dream, you cannot experience the same dream exactly the way you experienced before. Future is like a mirage. You can never ever get there. It is so elusive. Experience the serenity of this moment. As you stay relaxed and calm, bring your attention again back to the breath. Breathing is so relaxing. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. The recitation of Namo Tassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Most Venerable Nayaka Hamdru and Venerable members of the Mahasangha, dear Dhamma friends, you're already aware of the objectives and the purpose of having this kind of Dhamma event. Nayaka Hamdru explained it very well. What are the purposes and objectives and what kind of things led to this kind of Dhamma event. Since we started the Vassana season, Nayaka Hamdru really wanted to give you new Dhamma experience. And so when we were discussing, then we discussed and we came up with this idea that we should have this kind of Dhamma event. Usually we have Dhamma events at the temple. Now, no need to explain the benefit of having Dhamma events at your home. This very gathering is a testimony, example to the fact that this is very effective, right? It is not easy for us to have this kind of big gathering at the temple. So credit goes to Niluka Rajapaksha and Palita Rajapaksha. So we should be very grateful for them for providing us with this kind of opportunity so that we can experience, benefit from the Dhamma. To deliver a Dhamma sermon, we have chosen a particular topic. Are you aware of the topic? Theme of today's Dhamma event? So, the power of prayers and the power of practice. The power of prayers and power of practice. For that, we have a particular sutta. Pancha Ittha Dhamma Sutta. We base our Dhamma sermon on this particular discourse. This is very beneficial, very important sutta, where Buddha talks about the power of prayers and power of practice. So, I hope it is always good to refer to the original text. Then we can have a kind of idea, like what really Buddha wanted to discuss here. So, let me repeat some parts of the sutta in Pali, and then later on we can discuss. Atako anata pindiko gahapatiyena bhagavaten upasangkami upasangkamita bhagavantang abhivadetta ekamantan nisidi ekamantan nisinnan ko anata pindikang gahapating bhagava etada vocha. You know, Anata Pindika, he was a kind of sekti or merchant, rich merchant in Buddha's time. He was the chief lay supporter of the Buddha and also to the entire Buddhism. So he would come to the monastery quite often, and Buddha gave this sermon, the sutta, addressing Anathapindika, the sekti, the merchant. And Buddha said that Panchime Gahapati Dhamma Ittha Kanta Manapa Dullabha Lokasmin Katame Pancha. Buddha said that there are 5 things, 5 factors which are desirable, beloved, and also difficult to obtain. 5 factors: desirable, beloved, but difficult to obtain. What are these 5 things? Ayu ko gahapati itto kanto manapo dullabo lokasmi. Vanno itto kanto manapo dullabo lokasmi. Sukang ittang kanta manapan dullaban lokasmi. Yaso itto kanto manapo dullabo lokasmi. Sagga itta kanta manapa dullaba lokasmi. There are these 5 things. What are these 5 things which are desirable, beloved, but difficult to obtain in life? Ayu, long life, is desirable. Who doesn't like long life? Then one, beauty. Beauty is desirable, beloved, but difficult to obtain. And then the happiness, sukha, desirable, beloved, but difficult to obtain. Then yasa, that means good name, good reputation, fame. It is desirable, beloved, but difficult to obtain. And then the heavenly rebirth, difficult. It is desirable, beloved, but difficult to obtain. So can you repeat the 5 things we just mentioned here? What are these 5 things? Buddha said that difficult to obtain, but desirable and beloved. What are these 5 things? Long life, happiness, beauty, Heavenly rebirth and fame and good name. Yeah, fame. So, yes, thank you. Excellent. Long life, beauty, good name, happiness, heavenly rebirth. These 5 things are. And is there anyone here who would not like these things, 5 things? Who hate these 5 things or any of these 5 things? So everybody wish these things, desire these things. But here is the most important important point Buddha makes. Buddha said that Imesanko gahapati panchannan dhammanam ittanam kantanam manapanam dullabanam lokkasmin ayachana hetuva pattana hetuva patilabang vadami. No matter how desirable, how beloved these 5 factors could be, you cannot gain these 5 things solely through your wish, solely through your desire. Na ayachana hetuva na pattana hetuva. Just because you wish these things doesn't mean that these 5 things come to you automatically. And also Buddha said that Imesanko gahapati panchannan dhammanam panchanam ittanam kantanam manapanam dullabanam lokasmin ayachana hetuva pattana hetuva patilabo abhavissa ko idakena hayeta. If these 5 things were attainable just through the desire and just through your wish, who would lack anything in the world? Nobody would lack anything if it were obtainable through desire, because everyone desires, right? So then it's a good thing to remember that just because you desire doesn't mean that it will come to you. So this is where we see the distinction between the power of prayers and the power of practice. So then the Buddha said that Nako gahapati arahati arya savako ayu kamo ayum ayachitum va abhinanditum va ayusva pihetum. Ayu kamena gahapati arya savako ayu samvattanika patipada patipajjitabba. Ayu samvattanika hissa patipada patipanna ayu patilabhaya samvattati. Solabhi hoti ayus dibbava manussava. Here the Buddha said that as a practitioner, as a disciple, follower of the teachings of the Buddha, it is not wise for you to just desire these things and wish to have these things solely through the wish. If you identify as a Arya Savaka, who is Arya Savaka? You all are Arya Savakas because you are followers of the Aryas. Who are the Aryas? The noble ones. The Buddha is the noble one. The disciples, enlightened disciples who set an example so that we can emulate and practice this Dhamma, they are called Aryas, noble ones. So anyone who would follow and take the footprint of those great noble ones, they are called Arya Savaka. So if you identify yourself as Arya Savaka, it is not wise for you to simply wish these things without working on them. So you really have to practice the path. So then, Nako Arahati Arya Savako Vannakamo, the same is with the other four things. If you wish to have long life, just because you wish, you cannot have a long life. Even though you wish to have a beautiful life or beauty, it doesn't come to you solely through your wish. You have to work on it. Now, we also work on it. We work on these 5 things, but superficially. Now we know how hard we work to get the beauty or to maintain the beauty. But that is not the most effective way. That is not the successful way. That is not the way in the long run we can gain beauty. Sometimes we ruin our beauty by trying to maintain our beauty. But there is a definite path for having beauty. There is a definite path for having long life. There is definite path for having good fame. There is definite path for having happy life. And there is a definite path for having divinely rebirth. So this is the Sutta in very brief. So this is what we have to discuss today. Now, let us come to the first thing. Long life. Here the Buddha said that long life is desirable, beloved, but cannot be attained just through the wish. We have to work on it. Actually, the other book, we had to fill the gap here. Buddha referred to the path that leads to the long life in the sutta called Chulla Kamma Vibhanga Sutta. In the Chulla Kamma Vibhanga Sutta, Buddha talks about the definite path that leads to long life. According to that sutta, if you do not inflict suffering on other living beings, if you do not punish, harm, and try to take others' lives, that leads to long life. Sometimes, in those days, I don't know, even today, maybe people out of ignorance, maybe they still do this, realizing that turtles, they live a long life, then wishing a long life, some ignorant people, they consume turtle's meat. See, it's quite an irony that people expecting, wishing long life, they do the complete opposite. We have to remember that wishing long life, if you were to shorten the life of any living beings, you can never ever have gain long life. Only by promoting the lives of others, only by promoting the lifespan, doing something to promote the lives of others, you can really gain long life. Long life, sometimes people, even Buddhist people, they sometimes underestimate that and just simply say that, oh, I don't want a long life. This is very enough. Now I am 60s, so this is very good enough. I am ready to say goodbye. Sometimes we hear people saying that, right? But actually, if you really realize the true purpose, if you realize the fact that how rare it is, how difficult it is to gain this life, have this human birth, you would never ever say that. Once you realize the value of this life, you would want to celebrate your life in every single moment. Because this human birth here, it's a very fleeting moment compared to the long journey of the samsara. It's so fleeting. It's so rapidly this goes. And then what will happen to us once we end this life and reborn in a lower realms of existence in apaya? Then we cannot actually even talk about these things, let alone having long life or short life. We would not be there to talk about even this topic. So long life is particularly when you are born in human world, in divine world, or in Brahma world, long life is a blessing. But of course, once you are born in apayas, long life is not a blessing, it's a chaos. But we should appreciate long life in heavens. I mean, human world is also a heaven, one of the sugatis. So then, how to gain long life? This is why actually we practice virtues like, panatipata. These are not just to recite, not just to chant, but to practice. If you see your children, no matter how young they are, if you see them trying to take the lives of insects, stop it at the very outset. Prevent it from at the very outset. If you really compassionate to them, never ignore that, thinking that, oh, they are just toddlers and they are just infants and they know nothing about the karma and rebirth. Let them do whatever they wish to do. That is not the obligation, not the duty of a compassionate mother or father. From the very day they are born, we have to prevent them from doing evil things. Actually, that is one of the duties assigned to parents. You remember the 5 duties assigned to parents? So first 2 duties have to do with the morality, moral education. Papa nivarenti, very first duty of parent is to get their children rid of evil. Kalyane nivesenti, letting them practice good things is the second duty. First you have to make sure that you get them rid of evil, and then you can show them the path for righteousness or other morally good things. Actually, the education comes third. Sippang Sikkapenti, or education comes third in your duty list. But today, unfortunately, we overemphasize the relevance and the importance of education, and we sometimes ignore the first two duties. They are very crucial, very important. So, doesn't matter what kind of good education you provide them with, if they commit crimes, take others' lives, kill insects and the animals and go hunting and fishing, then they are going to suffer from next lives or from these lives for thousands of eons and eons. Then can you be happy thinking, doesn't matter they are reborn in a apaya, but still they received a good education while they were in the human world? You cannot be happy. So this is why this is very crucial. So, see, some people, human beings, they don't get the chance to see this human world. They die in the mother's womb, even before they are born into this world. They have really short lifespan. Why? Here we are talking about the importance of long life, and why we really value it, need it, and what is the path that leads to the long life. So then let us come to the second point, the beauty. I don't think anyone here would be here who hates beauty. Anyone? Now we sometimes spend so much money on maintaining beauty, or gain beauty, or regain beauty, or whatever, on that beauty subject. True path leads to beauty has been explained by the Buddha in the Chullakamma Banga Sutta. Especially there, the Buddha emphasized that the main factor that leads to non-beauty, I would say non-beauty, Dubban, Durvarana, Baba, that is getting angry, grudges, holding on to grudges, this habit of having, sudden provocation, hot-tempered. This is exactly what the Buddha mentioned in the path that leading to the non-beauty, Dubbanata. So then, if you really wish to have beauty, you have to control your negative emotions like anger. Sometimes we don't care about that. We more care about our skin, but we hardly care about the mental care. We know everything about skin care, facial care, and so many other parts of our physical body. So if you really care about your mental well-being, you have to be very cautious of your negative emotions. Anger, starting from within, it ruins you. It completely destroys you. It's like the things coming from the iron, what do you call that? Rust. Yeah. Yes. So rust, originating from the iron, it destroys the iron itself. So is the anger. starting from mind, it destroys the mind. Once it destroys the mind, then it affects to the body. Then not only for this body, once you maintain these negative emotions, continue to have these negative emotions for some time, then it becomes a habit, and then it will determine your destiny. So this is why you must have heard this saying, like the quotation, like Buddhist ideas, a collection. I mean, in this saying, there is the synthesis of Buddhist ideas. I hope it may be a modern translation of Manopubbangama Dhamma stanza. However, this is what that idea. Watch your thoughts, because they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, because they become your character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. So see how your thoughts leads to your destiny. So once you develop anger, then your destiny is not going to be a desirable one. So getting angry leads to non-beauty. Then the opposite is what's life, and also beauty in the next lives. And then the fame. If you become truthful to yourself, truthful to yourself, then your reputation goes beyond this human realm. You gain good name, good reputation, good recognition everywhere you go. But if you poison the unity of other people, try to separate them, divide them, telling so many stories, tell tales, whatever the gossips and the things that you use through your mouth, then that leads to ill fame. Ill fame. So our practice, our very practice leads to the things that we experience this life and also in the next lives. So rely on your practice. Rely on your practice. Otherwise, there are no rewards in the world that you can wish from heaven. No punishment either. They are just consequences of your own actions. This is how, as Buddhists, this is how you should look at your life. What you experience is not the reward given by someone, but the consequences of your own actions, may be done in your previous lives, may be done in this lives. And also if you experience any negative experience, that is also because of the things, actions you have done in your either in previous lives or in this very life. So, but sometimes we take it as karmaya, like aguna kalaya, apala kalaya, and punishment. Actually, they are just consequences of your own actions. So it's a good news actually, because you can rectify it. You can do something about it. You can condition your life. So, without just, the wishing these things, desirable things, you want to condition your life in such a way that you're going to experience the desirable consequences. So, and then the heavenly rebirth. Never say that, oh, I don't want to be reborn in heaven, so I don't want. Actually, we cannot say that. Only if you are born in a heaven, you can be rescued. Otherwise, like, this samsara is like a trap. Recently in Thailand, 12 boys were trapped in a cave, right? Then the rescuers, they made a very historic international rescue operation to rescue those 12 boys who were trapped in that cave. They followed 2 steps. First step is to make them stronger, provide them with the basic facilities, and to ensure that they are strong enough to be rescued. They did not just jump to take them out. It has to be handled very carefully. So then they provided them with oxygen and food and other things and made them stronger. Then they rescued them. This is what the rescue operation Buddha also followed. He knew that to get rid of the samsara is not easy. It cannot be done just all of a sudden. 2 methods were given. 2 goals, 2 steps. First, we need to ensure the heavenly rebirth. That is a must. You have to be born either in human world, divine world, or Brahma world to attain enlightenment. So then we have to work on it. So then only even the Buddhas and other Kalyanas can help us. Right? So heavenly rebirth is a desirable thing. But just because you desire it, wish it, doesn't mean that it come to you automatically. You have to work on it. So this is here, actually, even here we work on it. Especially the virtues, the practice of virtues leads to them. You have to appreciate your life every moment. Actually, you are here in the human world because of your own good actions. So if you want to have this kind of life again, you have to simply continue with the course. So otherwise, just because we keep praying doesn't mean that everything we desire come true. All our dreams come true. There was a very good devotee to the church. He served the church all his life. He was very devoted to the God. And one day he went to the church, and in front of the altar he asks the help from the God. He said, God, I have been serving throughout my life to you. Now I am old, let me win a lottery. And he prayed and prayed and prayed. 1 year went by, no results. Then 2 years went by, no results. Whole 3 years went by, no results. And then man one day came to the church in so much desperation and cried to the God, God, give me a break. And then the God said, give me a break, yourself buy a ticket. He didn't buy a ticket, but he just kept praying to win a lottery. So we also sometimes do the same thing. We rely on the power of prayer and power of wish, but we do not rely on the power of practice. So today's topic was to give you this lesson, and to talk about this. the power of prayers and the power of practice. So who you are today is because you wish something and you worked on it. If you are a doctor today, you had a dream one day or wish, aspiration, but you did not confine it just to a wish or aspiration, rather you work on it, and then the result is being a doctor or engineer or whatever the profession you are today. So if you like these 5 things, if you really wish these 5 things, then of course you have to work on it. So even that very path is is a blessing to this life and also to the lives yet to come. So having said this, now I would like to conclude the introductory Dhamma Deshana about this particular sutta, leaving the time, allowing you to have questions and comments. Thank you. So yes, you already asked a question about the bhava. Upadana Paccha Bhava. Actually, Upadana Paccha Bhava means, like there Buddha explained how this very cycle keeps itself repeating in the samsara. We call samsaric cycle, cyclic process. Birth and death and birth, birth and death, and so on and so forth. This whole samsaric journey is simply continuing because of upadana and bhava. Upadana means grasping or taking in, holding on to. Bhava means becoming. The result is becoming. Then actually, what is this upadana? Upadana means, like, as we experience something, say for instance we see something through the eyes, then out of ignorance, because of our ignorance into the mechanism of this experience, we hold on to it. Then that holding on to things, physical things or mental things, we hold on not only to the physical things, we hold on to perception, sensation, then the volitional formations and consciousness, we hold on to these things. Then that holding on to these 5 things called upadana, panch upadana skandha, we call the 5 aggregates of clinging. So the upadana means clinging, in a way it's clinging into these 5 things. Then once we clung to these 5 things, then the result is birth, bhava, or becoming. Becoming means, like, first we have the psychological becoming, then we have the conventional becoming. Kamma bhava and uppatti bhava. Kamma bhava means, now everybody now we are simply maintaining the kamma bhava. Kamma bhava means we have this mentality that things we experience, they are existing out there. Even without our eyes, ears, whatever we saw, whatever we heard, they are out there. Then as long as we maintain this mentality, that means we maintain upadana or kamma bhava. Kamma bhava leads to uppatti bhava. Then we are subject to birth. So that is the answer to that. So any? Yes.
So I understand that in Buddhism it's the Four Noble Truths, right?
Yes.
So, which the main aspect is desire is to suffer.
Yeah.
From what you just said, that what you desire, wishful thinking, negating wishful thinking, but to work on it. That's also, you're still desiring, say, for instance, happiness. So you desire happiness, but that desire is also causes suffering. Like, for instance, I'm a student at a university. I have to work really hard to desire to seek happiness. But through that journey, I am suffering.
Actually, thank you for asking that question. It is really interesting to get that point clear. Actually, there is a distinction between the good desire and negative desire and positive desire. Desire for positive things is a good desire. Even we should have a desire to attain enlightenment. That is very true. Buddha said that clearly, that Chanda Mulika Bhikkave Kusala Dhamma. Wholesome things, all the wholesome things, or every good thing finds its origin in desire. So desire for good things is a good desire. That is why we have, you must have come across these two, this word Chanda in two contexts. In the first context, it is in the negative context. Chanda dosa baya moha. That is in a negative context. In a positive context also you come across this term, Chanda Chitta Virya Vimansa. That is something that you should develop, this Chanda, desire. You should develop positive desire. At the same time you have to get rid of the negative desire. Actually, there is the other aspect, like the desire or wishes, aspirations, they also serve us in strengthening our practice. That is one thing. Actually, what we condemn here is just the wish, but without practice. That is something we have to condemn. But we should never condemn the prayers or wishes that would enrich you, enhance you, strengthen you. So there is that aspect too. Like if you really want to become a doctor, then you really wish this. Then also you work on it, practice the path. Then from time to time you really wish it. Then your wishes, your dreams helps you strengthen your path. And it gives you extra blessings too. So that is also needed actually. Buddhists also practice that. While he was practicing virtues in order to attain enlightenment and become the Buddha, he really practiced this resolution, aspirations, determination. There is a definite power behind that too. So, I hope Santahandra would add something.
Do our best on our studies and positive things. But at the same time, we need to understand what are the negative things, even in this world, would bring more and more suffering. Then we can avoid those negative things and be more happier than the people who are with those negative expectations. For the mundane thing, supra-mundane thing, there are so many things to do. But still, what we do here is trying to go to that goal. Learning means we are studying how to stay in this society without grudges, without troubles, without making troubles to others, without making troubles to myself. That is study. For those things we need to read, we need to listen, we need to practice those things. When we keep on those things, today you might think that when we were very young, right? Very young. Even those days, studying was difficult. Even those days. But still, parents push you to do those things. Now you think, oh, it is good that I did those days. Right? The same way, you will understand. Once you finish these studies, oh, it is good. I did this one. Right? But we need to be careful how to be away from those negative things prevail in this society, even in the universities. That will spoil you. Right? We need to be mindful. We need to strive those things too. So, better try to understand what are the good strives, good things that we do that could lessen our sufferings. It doesn't mean that you are going to attain enlightenment doing all these studies today, but still it will bring kind of happiness in the future. For that we need to do it. Then with the understanding we can practice more and more.
Any question?
So no more questions. Hamdra was telling that if we want to have this kind of life again, please practice more and more. Sometimes there may be people who would say, oh, I don't want this life, this kind of life. Right? This is a suffering. I don't want. But still, even if you hate, it doesn't go away. Even if you hate, oh, I don't want. Right? There are so much of difficulties in this life. But even if you hate, it doesn't go away. If you want to go away all those things, then we need to again practice. Without practicing, we can't just get rid of any of those sufferings. If you do not practice, then it will be double. And also, Andrew was telling, Chichi, Sanjeev. Now, he was telling, if you want to be more attractive, more beautiful, more prettier, what is he prescribed? What did he prescribe?
More work on your mental health than your actual life.
No, he prescribed one thing. We want to be pretty, we want to be beautiful, we want to be smart, then work on it means he gave one thing. To be beautiful. So he was telling, if you want to be to have a long life, he prescribed one thing. If you want to be healthy, then he prescribed one thing. If you want to be beautiful, then he prescribed one thing. He was prescribing some things.
Be pretty from inside.
Huh?
Be pretty from inside. No anger.
So control your anger. Right? Do we believe that our anger makes us ugly? Right? If we believe it, from this life to next life and until we attain, so it affects even from, if we are angry today, at that very moment it affects us. Right? So, what you do believe? Go to the shop and bring all those cosmetics and apply on this face, or try to control your anger. What do you believe? Mostly we believe on those cosmetics, not the controlling in our mind. Right? Mostly. So if you were to practice those things, then what we need to do? Look at your mind. Do you have any time to see, look at your inside, look at your mind? Do you have any kind of practice that you will stop and see how my mind works? Huh? Do we do it? Do we? That is called meditation. That is called meditation. Sometimes you might think, so we need to sit down and close our eyes to meditate. No, it is not. At any moment, if you have a practice to see what is in my mind, am I angry? Am I greedy? Right? When you start eating, do you see, look at that one? When you see nice, sweet things, do you feel that I am greedy? Do we look at our mind? That is the practice we need to introduce to ourselves if we have been not doing it. Right? That is what we need to learn. Hamdru was prescribing 5 things if you want to gain these 5 valuable things. Those things not just automatically comes. That is what he wants to share with you. Strive if you want these things. What are the 5? He was giving 5 things, right? Can you name those 5? Yeah? Yeah? Fame, yes. For fame, what did he prescribe? Or be truthful. What are the others? Give me one. Hey! I always go to you. You know, right? There were 5. At least if we can't memorize those 5, remember those 5, what is the point of talking? Oh. Huh? Huh? What is the point of spending 1.5 hours here? Others? Go ahead. Help these children to remember at least those 5 and what we prescribe.
Yeah. I think they repeated in the beginning and yeah, heavenly rebirth. And so according to the list, actually it starts with long life, beauty, and then the fame, happiness, and heavenly rebirth. I think it is good if you can start working on the last one. I got this idea when I visited last week a house. Actually, I was in Pittsburgh, so there was a lady who come to the meditation in that meditation center, and she wanted Bhantes to visit them at her residence. So we went there, and she's raising so many pets, different kinds of pets. So she wanted us to bless those pets, and one dog was actually that dog was severely ill, and so she really wanted us to bless that dog. So we went there and had a blessing ceremony, had a good discussion, and also she showed us the different pets. So in her house, she was actually a very retired doctor. So she has rescued certain birds. There was a bird in that house, Mako what do you call Mako parrot? Yeah, parrot. So the what do you call that? Yeah, big one. So she said that that parrot has been living with her for 48 years. 48 years. And she worries that he is going to outlive even after her life. So she said something about that parrot. She said then she really rescued this parrot. And that parrot was at a neighbor's house. So that parrot was trying to kill himself, commit suicide. That parrot was so tired of that life and took his own feathers, all the feathers except the feathers on his head. So crying throughout the day. So she said that she really felt sorry for this bird and went to that house and knocked on the door and asked if she can get that parrot and raise. Then they said okay. So then she took that parrot and raised. So that parrot is going to live like 60 to 100 years actually. Long life. That parrot is so beautiful. And so then what is the point of having the beauty and the long lifespan if we lose the divinely rebirth, heavenly rebirth? So if you gain long life and beauty in animal realm or in other lower realms, apayas, then you cannot really enjoy that. Your mind is not there to enjoy it or appreciate it. You simply live your life, live to your death. So you can really appreciate all these 5 things if you are in a heavenly world, human world or other higher world. So first we have to actually ensure our heavenly rebirth. We have to work on it. Then of course every other thing becomes meaningful. So I wanted to point out that too. Heavenly rebirth. Yes. So any question, comments, anything? So
සිංහලෙන් කියන කතාවක් තියෙනවා. ගහට උඩින් ගහන්න ඕන නම් හදට ගහනවා කියලා හිතාගෙන ගහන්නේ. ඒ වගේ heavenly rebirth පටන් ගත්තොත් ඉතින් අවමානයෙන් human rebirth හරි හම්බෙන්නේ.
Oh yeah. Yes.
First of all, I want to thank you for a wonderful Dhamma talk. Very, very enlightening. The question is, you mentioned heavenly rebirth and birth in Apaya. I have heard an interpretation that those 2 birds and other birds, like the human bird, in this world, it's not a different world, but for example, if we practice the 5 things that you mentioned, for example, if we don't kill animals, or if we practice dana, and the effect of those actions you receive in this life rather than in a different life. Can you please comment on that? Is there any reason to believe?
Yeah, actually, there are, the certain prescribed meritorious act by the Buddha in order for us to attain heavenly rebirth and all that, especially the Dana Sila Bhavana. So Dana leads to the comfort once you are born in a heaven, in a human world or in divine world. Sila helps you to be born in a heaven. It is always the Sila, actually the thing that you just mentioned, the Sila. Sila plays the central role in providing you a heavenly rebirth. Then the Bhavana, of course, it helps you have a good life, independent and intelligent. So then, sometimes you cannot see the results in this very life, in certain good things. It takes time. Maybe not even in next lives. Even in next lives, maybe what you will be experiencing, you will be experiencing the results of your previous karma, not the consequences of the actions you've done in this life. So, but from the time that they start to yield fruits, you are going to experience the results, the consequences for eons and eons. Sometimes actually it is good that we don't experience the consequences of our own good actions in this very life. Say for instance, if you give dana and you experience the results and the results in this very life, then it is limited actually. But since you can experience the results even after next life and even in after thousands of years, and so that it is illimitable, infinite. So that is one thing. Did I answer your questions or did you? So,
yes, somewhat. I'm still. I have a hard time understanding. For example, what I heard was, if you do something, I mean, we believe in cause and effect, right?
Yes.
There is a cause and effect. And that cause and effect, I understand what you're saying, it can happen in a different birth cycle, right? It could be this birth or the next birth, or the following one.
Yeah.
But also, at the same time, if you do something now, good, you have a mental situation where you feel good about it. And that's the reward you get.
Yes.
So
That is one of the rewards, yes.
Yeah, and that's not something you will experience in a different birth. But when you do dana, for example, you feel good. Chetanaham bhikkhave.
Yeah.
When you have the chetana right, you feel good about it, and that's the reward you get. It's not the material reward, but your mental status.
Yeah. Actually, the thing is that we cannot confine the consequences of our good actions into this life itself. So, as we believe in, talk about Paticcasamuppada, cause and effect, causality. So, they are still effective in after eons and eons. So, we simply condition the current situation, the current status, the current condition. We simply condition here. Results might not occur right now. Even though we can see some results, that is not the full effect of that. Say for instance, now you grow a plant, then you water. So then once you water, maybe you can see after some time, like after an hour or 2 hours, you can see that it's sometimes gaining strength. So, but if you didn't water today, suppose had you not watered today, it wouldn't have grown into a full-grown tree in 100 years. So your watering today affects so far that even after 100 years you can see the effect. Suppose you tie a tree in your garden with a wire, very strong wire. Then you might not see the effect today. You might not see the effect even tomorrow. You might not see the effect even after 5 years. But in 10 years or 20 years to come, one day a strong wind blows and then you will see the result. So see, even very simple act we perform today, they contain the effects. But we cannot limit it to a kind of limited period of time. So we cannot actually confine that into this life. So it's a long journey. We simply condition the thing here only. So anyway, so I hope is it time for us to conclude? Oh, okay. Anything? If you have any last question, you can ask. Okay, it's a good thing. So I have to ask from the venerable monks whether I am qualified to talk about that subject. We all get angry. Actually, but the thing is, first step is to understand the his question was about the how to control anger. Yes. First step
There
is
are
to
experts.
anger.
Anger
Yes. So first step is to acknowledge that.
children, they know.
Acknowledge that that emotion is a very negative emotion. If you don't understand that, it's a harmful emotion, which is of harmful consequences, then you cannot really get rid of that. First you need to understand that it's a harmful thing. Sometimes because we have the tendency to justify anger. We justify anger. Okay, I am angry because she did something wrong, really wrong. She hurt me and she shouldn't have done it. And so forth, we sort of justify our anger. But who hurts? It is you. You get hurt. And you cannot, this is why we say that getting angry is holding on to burning charcoal in your hand. Holding burning charcoal in your hand with the intent to throw it at someone else. But remember that you are the one who get burned. You cannot throw a burning charcoal at someone else without getting yourself burned first. You burn so much internal burning, so it is not good for your physical health. It is absolutely not good for your mental health either. So never justify anger. So actually sometimes we have the tendency that anger doesn't come all of a sudden. We collect anger seeds. When one incident happens, then we collect that seed, and when the second incident happens, then we pile our the heap of our anger. Then the result is sometimes very strong hate. Sometimes it can turn into a very strong revenge. So we have to what do you call nip it in the bud. nip the anger in the bud. So the best way and the most effective way is to get rid of grudges. Don't collect grudges. Just let it be, let it go. Because your mind, you should not allocate space in your mind for anger. And the other thing is that we have the tendency to judge people. This is why sometimes anger comes. Just because they are different from you doesn't mean that they are against you. They have different paths, different habits, different characteristics, different dispositions, right? Different characteristics, different way of life, different thinking pattern. So they are different. It's good that they are different actually, because then the world is full of diversity. It becomes a beautiful place to live, right? We have to acknowledge, appreciate that diversity. So if you always judge others, you don't have time to love them, right? So stop judging others all the time. That is one way to get rid of anger. The other thing is that imagine as if they are your own children. With your children, you don't have grudges. You don't have like strong hatred. You are so forgiving with them. You are so patient with them. Even if you get angry, you can easily forget it and forgive it. So you don't hold on to strong grudges and hate. So Buddha asks us to be a mother to whole world. That attitudinal change can really cure your anger.
Let's think. Be realistic. Now, he said that he is striving, it's a suffering, but still striving for studies. Why? The reason is he knows the benefits. Right? If he do not study, he knows the effect. Right? So if you want to control your anger, learn what are the benefits of not getting angry and how it affects you, family, all others when you are angry. And believe that I am a person, I am a sort of person getting angry. Believe. And so try to not to react, at least. So in that way we can sort of control. So as he did, he is trying to know the benefit and the effect. Anger also the same. How much do we spend on thinking how this affect to my family? How this affect to my friends if I am angry? Forget about yourself. Right? It is the first thing that you need to think, but forget about yourself. Practically, how it affects? How the words, what are the words I use when I am angry? Is there anybody who is ready to listen to those words? How do I look at the others when I am angry? Even the children do not like to see that father is angry. Even the parents do not like to see the children are angry too. Right? So when we don't have those understanding, try to understand. Just by doing the same thing, it doesn't go away. We need to think, we need to study, we need to forget about Buddhist things, all those Buddhist effect, that's such, right? We always think Dhamma is sanditthika. Do we believe it? Right? Do we believe it? Kusala is sanditthika. Do we believe it? We think, oh, all those things are going to affect in my next birth. Not today. Right? So Buddha says it is sanditthika. It is instantaneous. It gives the results. So try to control. We need to understand what is the effect, how it affects to my children when I am angry.
So in a book I recently read, there was a sort of practical strategy given to sort of control your anger step by step. There he mentioned that once you really get angry with somebody, write an email. But don't send it, save it. Instead, save it. And after 2 days, you can review it. And if you still consider you should send or save, then you can decide. Then after 10 days, you can again open the file and review it, and then you can consider. Hopefully, you won't send it, the words that you wrote. Instead of writing it in email, write it in your mind. Then again review the thoughts that you really had that day, and consider about it. What if I said this out? And what if I express these words, my anger in this word form? What would be the results? So then actually that kind of things also we can make use of and getting like controlling, reducing anger. So I hope this would help you have a good physical well-being and also good mental well-being too. The things that we discussed today, you can really put them into practice step by step, and reflect on what we discuss constantly. Then it will give you the practical benefits in this very life, and that life will lead your life into Nibbana too. So having said that, now we would like to conclude. I think Nayaka Hamduro will conclude with the blessing discourses.